Joining us on the line right now is the Allegheny County Commissioner, William Bill Valentine. We wanted to have him on to talk about this issue that's becoming something of a controversy out in western Maryland, and it has to do with whether or not fracking should be allowed. I mean, all across the country, we are becoming sort of oil, and we are becoming not oil independent on other connections. We are actually creating our own oil through this process of fracking for oil and natural gas. It's been an economic boon in some areas. Some people want to do it in western Maryland, and some people, of course, are against it. Bill Valentine, so where do you come down on the issue of fracking generally?
I think that it can be done safely. Personally, I sit on the Governor's Study Commission on this, and I've asked them since day one to look into the process of dry fracking, where you eliminate all the problems with frack water. And to this date, you look through the reports and you won't see any mention of dry fracking.
So we're going to get a big report from researchers at Towson University to tell us what they think about it and look at the economic impacts. What do you expect to be in that report?
A lot of scientists coming up with a lot of theories. Scientific theories are just that, theories, until they're proven. That's the only time they become fact. Here in Allegheny County, we have made the offer that we would like to have a test well drilled in Allegheny County using dry fracking. The state can set up all their air quality monitors. They can do all the testing that they want, and let's see if there are any problems. And to this point, we've been denied.
Commissioner Valentine, we've seen what an economic boon fracking can be for states like Ohio and Pennsylvania, even though there was a lot of pushback from environmentalists in those states. Even in upstate New York, where the environmentalists are a lot stronger, it's really created a lot of jobs. What are you looking for in terms of an economic benefit out there in western Maryland if you get your fracking?
Well, number one, there are a few $100 million worth of gas under Allegheny County. Allegheny County is one of the poorest counties in the state of Maryland. We've got a per capita income of around $19,000, household income of about $38,000. And to me, it's a taking by the state. The people own the minerals that's under their land. And the state is saying, we're sorry, guys, you cannot make use of what you own. And to me, that's not quite the American way.
I'm sorry, what is there any opposition there in Allegheny County, or do the majority of the people support this? Do they want this?
In Allegheny County, I think the majority of the people support going after the Marcellus Shale. There's only one area of the county, the western portion of the county, where we have Marcellus Shale. And basically that area historically has been an area where coal mining has taken place. We still have some strip mining taking place in that area. So some of the concerns about worrying about destroying the natural beauty of the area sort of goes away, because even where we've had our strip mining, once the mining's over with, the land is reclaimed, makes almost beautiful pasture-like land. They yell about it would cause fragmentation of forest. Well, where we've got reclaimed strip mine, we don't have the forest to worry about. And the same people that worry about fragmentation of the forest by digging the ditch, laying a gas pipeline, covering the ditch over and planting it with grass, don't seem to worry about clear-cutting the top of an entire mountain to put windmills up. That, to me, is greater forest fragmentation than what a gas line ever would be.
Well, you make a good point. I mean, look, make sure I have this correct. You're saying that in Allegheny County, there is just one little corner of the county where it's even possible to go down and get this oil that may be in deep shale deposits, correct?
That's correct.
And in this one little corner of western Maryland, western Allegheny County in western Maryland, they are saying we cannot go there because it would be an ecological disaster. To quote O'Malley, we're not willing to give up a single stream in Maryland for the sake of giving a green light to wildcatters to go frack as they will. Well, they won't frack where there is no shale. Am I correct?
That's correct, and Mr. O'Malley needs to take a look at the maps of the streams in western Maryland. I know no streams in western Maryland that don't originate in Pennsylvania, and they're originating in the areas of Pennsylvania where they are already fracking and going after the shale, and yet Allegheny County has some of the most pristine streams anywhere in the state of Maryland. The area where we would be fracking, even though we're a poor rural county, 87% of our residents are on municipal water and sewer, so we don't have the worries about contamination of private wells to worry about. In fact, if you check with the state of Pennsylvania, state of West Virginia, there are no confirmed cases of contamination of wells like they keep worrying about. We've already got regulations. We've been drilling for gas in western Maryland for years and years and years. We've had no problem with drilling for gas. It hasn't been for Marcellus, but it's been for other forms of natural gas. Fracking is nothing new. It's been used all over the place, and these other areas are reaping the benefits and really not seeing the ecological problems that they're complaining about.
It would seem that what this is the entire state telling Allegheny County, you can't do what you think, even though it would have absolutely zero impact on the rest of the state.
Sir, that has happened here for the last 100 years.
But I'm getting at this because we keep hearing that there's this movement out in western Maryland, that people are so fed up with being told, how they need to run their business out of Annapolis when they don't have any understanding of what life is like out in Allegheny County, that they're thinking about, that you hear this talk about seceding. I mean, how angry are people out there? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, people are quite angry. In fact, one of our existing county commissioners, Commissioner Mike McKay, he's running for House of Delegates this year to try to talk to the people in the legislature to realize that you can't impose the same regulations on Allegheny County as what you do on Montgomery County. We're entirely different. Our cultures are different. The environment's different. They keep imposing all these smart growth regulations on us, and yet if you look at Allegheny County, we are the poster child for smart growth. We're still 87% forested, but we need some economic development here.
Our guest is Allegheny County Commissioner William Valentine, talking about the fight over fracking in western Maryland. And one last thing, a lot of opponents of fracking are saying, yes, you're going to get 3,600, maybe 4,000 jobs for the next 10, 15 years. But then when the fracking is done, the land has been so devastated and has been so worked over that there's not going to be any property value left. This land won't be a good place for tourism, for summer homes. What do you say to that?
Well, number one, like I say, the area where the drilling would take place in Allegheny County is the home to strip mining right now. And the land is not devastated by this drilling. Once the drilling rig is gone and the well head is there and capped, you got a concrete pad about 30 by 30 around a pipe that sticks up out of the ground about 6 or 7 feet tall. That is it. If it's on farmland, people can have their livestock grazing around it. You can replant your fields. You can do anything you want to do. This is not in a tourist-type area where they want to drill it. It's easy access to Route 68. We're very close to the transmission line where the gas would have to be pumped. What we're asking, let us drill a test well.
Let's just give it a shot. Yeah. All right. We got to leave it there, Mr. Commissioner. Thank you so much, though.
All right. Appreciate it.